Okay, so here we are with one of our lovely first flowers of spring. So here we have our snowdrop, Galanthus nivalis. This is a really beautiful plant worth noticing at this time of year. Not only does it lift the spirits as it's one of our first flowers of the springtime, but there's a few things that are really nice to notice about it. First of all, it is a monocot. So for those of you who are not familiar with monocots have their petals in arrangements of threes. So these, you can see 3 on the outside and 3 on the inside. These are in fact tepals rather than petals, which is basically sepals and petals kind of merged together. You can also see then on the inside of the flower you've got the stamen, which are also in segments of 3. So there's 6 actually in here. It has an inferior ovary. Now it looks like it's superior, doesn't it? It's on top, but actually you've got to remember it's drooping down. So there's the inferior ovary. If you have a look at the tips of the leaves, they've got a really hard cuticle on them, and that is so that they can pierce through the frosty snow or the frosty ground. Something else that's quite interesting to notice about snowdrops is that the seed contains oil that is really attractive to ants. Ants like to eat that oil, so ants are one of the main kind of propagators, if you like, of snowdrops as well. From an ethnobotanical point of view, this plant has been it was believed to have been written about by Odysseus, by Homer in the Odyssey, when Odysseus was put under a spell and he was using a plant called moly that he was to try and dispel all the mental confusion he was having. So some academics believe that moly might be snowdrop. If we have any family members or people we know suffering from Alzheimer's, they may well be given a drug from an alkaloid from this plant. So it's an alkaloid called galanthamine, and it now is chemically synthesized, as well as still extracted from the raw ingredients. So galanthamine in the 1950s was pharmacologists were noticing in Bulgaria local people using this plant, rubbing on their temples as a means to help with headaches or confusion and symptoms of disturbance that to do with the head and the brain. And so the pharmacologists brought this into the Western medical system, analysed it, and through a long series of trials and investigations, we now have galanthamine. It is also present in daffodils as well. So also if you're from Wales, it's apparently there's a huge amount of daffodils being grown in Wales for galanthamine extraction. So this humble little plant is helping a lot of sick people, and it's a really nice story around how traditional knowledge again feeds into Western medicine and is helping a lot of people who've been sick. Again, disclaimer, please do not try this at home. The difference between a medicine and a poison is dosage and the knowledge of the physician. Okay, so snowdrops, Galanthus nivalis.